So let's take a look at the stock skid plate. Looks like I have to remove here and then under here. I guess that's 8 mil. I'm not sure what size Torx that is. Maybe a T10 or T15. And then obviously the other side. So in total 4. Plus it's going to want me to remove that bolt here and on the other side. And then it will connect in down here. And then the other side, we'll get a look at that here in a moment. So I was completely wrong. It's a T30, so I have a T30. And you'll take those 4 out. Button bolts were in the front. Really stupid. Instead of button bolts on the bottom, you know, should you whack these, it's a T30 or 8 mil. But, you know, having something that sticks down that's that sharp here in Colorado or out west here, you hit a rock or scrape a rock on the bottom, and then good luck ever getting those off. So, kind of silly. Now, I think we're going to take a T40 for up here. Yeah. And then we just undo those each side. And then that's what this bracket looks like. So, yep. So set that to the side. Go to the other side. Snugger. There we go. Flip this around. And these are pretty flimsy, so I'd expect those would have been pretty dang easy. And there's nothing special about this skid plate. It's light. It's probably pretty flimsy too, really. Stick that there. Stock stuff. Stock stuff. And we'll go over here. So remember, that was 10 pounds, 9.9 ounces, which is picking up with one hand. I can tell it's really heavy. And this is 2 pounds, 7.4 ounces. So remove the T45 from both sides. That's what a T45 looks like. And then their bolt is going to be a T40. So I got a T40. And it's going to look like this. But that's going to go on with this bracket. Okay, got it figured out. It goes on the outside of the crash bar. I thought it went on the inside, but it goes on the outside. I put some blue Loctite on here. And just because I like them a lot, we buy and use stuck nuts. We have it here to sell also at A&M Moto Toys in Palmer Lake, Colorado. But I like stuck nuts. And that's how it's going to look going around. So I just took off the kickstand sensor. It's just another thing to go, but I guess with this, if it goes out, the bike will still start. So not a big deal. You don't have to like join any wires together. You just unplug it from here and you slide it off that way. So this will come off that way from that post. And to just get that out, I took one of my T-handles here that are small enough, put it in here and just hit the end of this with my palm, and it just shoved the pin from the backside, because you're going to use that hole for the bolt is my understanding. And then you take off the sensor from up there and then that's a T25. And yeah, I used one of these. I have a kit off Amazon, I don't know, 25 bucks or so, and take that off. And just for curiosity, so you know, a quarter will fit the backside of these, so you can just wrench it off. So there we have it. So I will leave that sensor is going bye-bye. That's one more thing off the bike I don't need. And I will see if I have some big shrink tube, put it around here and just shrink tube that, and then zip tie it up probably to that bracket there. And yeah, call that good. Helps to read word for word sometimes. I missed a key word. Spacers. These are aluminum, by the way. They're not plastic. They go up to fill the void between this and in there to make it solid. So pretty important, I would think. So we will go ahead and install those. For this side, which is the right side of the bike, I found they say pry down. Yeah, I could pry down and get that bolt out, but I couldn't pry down with the skid plate on, because if I did it from under the skid plate, it was too far. If I did it from the exhaust, it would hit the skid plate and push down. So I couldn't get the bolt in. Easier just to take that right on out. Take that bad boy right out. That's also a 12 mil. I used a wrench to get it out and put it back in, honestly. And then this over here was a T40. So I got a T40. I can see there's red Loctite, so I will re-red Loctite that for the brake pedal, put it back in, and yeah, I'm pretty much done, and I'll show you the full set. I'm going to say scan this QR code and it will take you to the manual. They're saving paper, which is fine. We all have smartphones now. So this is how it will look on the left side. You'll have that bolt back there, which that bolt was a 13 mil. Like I said, that exhaust bolt is a 12 mil. This right here in front is a T45 actually. So I said T40 earlier, T45. And down below, right there, for the linkage guard. You can see linkage guard. You can see the space around. You can see I zip tied that there. I used electrical tape. I didn't have any big enough shrunky tube to put around that connector. But just taking off one piece that you do not need at all. Plenty of space around, so it means if you hit something, and this stuff is thick, that there should be room there between the bottom of the engine and the skid plate. And it's going to transfer the load to here, which should be fine. And also that steel support going across is going to help with this tab longevity, because if you drop the bike, you got this sticking out more, but the shifter also, for some reason, a sharp rock hit here, broke the shifter. It'll probably break the shifter off. It probably ain't gonna bend or break this guy, which I was kind of worried about that. They did that kind of like on a tab like that. And I'm not a big fan of this, but I know there's a protection piece that is sold that can protect this rod and go around. So I might pick that up. Let's go check the other side. There's the front. So here's the front to the right side. You can see where it connects into there. Of course, it's a coolant hose, so you can easily push down and get around that. Not a big deal. And like I showed, hardest part was actually this. Much easier just to pop this guy off and remove that bolt. And I Loctited this one to hell. I put a lot on there, and then I red Loctite like they had on there, this guy. And we'll kind of go back here. This is what it looks like from a distance. So, I mean, possibly you're losing phone ring, and I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, this bike is, I think that skid plate's going to work out really good. It's okay if it hangs down a little bit more. You know, I mean, the Rally Edition has higher suspension anyways. I don't think this necessarily hangs down much more. I'm sure it does a little bit than the stock one. But the main thing is a lot of people are going to be like, what's it look like? This is what it looks like. So it's coming up, and it's covering a good chunk of the water pump. I almost wish that it just came up a little bit more. You know, kind of came up, you know, to cover this complete water pump assembly. But I guess you can't have everything. I just think that would be the most ideal, is if it came up a little bit more. Let's see on this side if, you know, really, I guess, stator, butt, and not much you can really do there because you can't block the shifter. I mean, maybe they could cut it so it comes up a little bit more like a higher mount one. That way, you know how thick this is. I don't know. It's probably fine because most likely it's going to rest on there, here, and once I get good bark busters on there, and plus, hopefully, it's a slow drop and you're kind of with your body slowing it down from dropping anyways. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out how it works. I mean, I'm in this for the long haul, so we will see, taking on and off for oil changes and all that good stuff, how easy it will be. So there we have it. Hopefully this video helps you out and lets you decide on what skid plate might be best for you, because there's a few different options. This is the option I went with, and I like the looks, and I think it's going to protect. The one thing I do remember, yes, it's a little bit heavier, so we'll say it's like 8 pounds heavier, but it's down low weight and it's protection that you actually want. So the weight doesn't matter. I think we all could lose a little weight ourselves. So, you know, maybe we all should look in the mirror a little bit before we get so on this, oh my God, it weighs 8 more pounds, but it's 8 pounds that, A, you're probably not going to feel, 8 pounds that it's worth protecting the bike so you're not stranded in the middle of nowhere because you hit a boulder with the stock stuff. So I hope this video helped you out and gives you some ideas. And I'm just a normal guy installing a skid plate. So read those directions because I tend not to. And luckily getting those spacers in after the fact is pretty easy. It's not hard. So not a big deal, but I hate when it is. So yeah, read those directions. They're there for a reason, and their directions are pretty good with pictures. And on your phone, you can zoom in and see where the tabs need to go on the brackets and all that, and the directions. So their directions are fabulous. So anyways, hopefully this all helped you out. You take care, stay well, stay safe. Bye.